Cantor Fitzgerald, Tether, and SoftBank. What do they all have in common, and why in the world the heck are we talking about this, and why is this relevant to real estate, guys?
They're about ready to compete with Michael Saylor, right?
Yep.
And strategy. He dropped the micro, so it's just strategy.
Yeah, the micro strategy.
Well, this morning they bought another 15,000 Bitcoin worth like almost $2 billion worth of
causing a pump.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, it
didn't though.
Well, yeah, it did.
Well, yeah, then
last Monday it was at 84,000. We're
Yeah.
at 94,000. That was $10,000 in 1 week.
No, I'm talking about today.
Oh well, he didn't buy it today. They just report it today. They reported it.
I see. That's what they bought last week.
Yes, they don't tell you when they're
there
buying
was a pump
it.
all weekend.
They tell you after they bought it. Like, hey,
Yep.
we bought 15,000 Bitcoin at an average price of it was like $92,000.
Ripped it.
So I mean, yeah, they're already up on it. But yeah, I mean but 21 is the new company, and they are going to buy 42,000 Bitcoin, and a lot of people are saying that they're already doing it now, but.
Okay, so let's just
let's break this down.
Yeah, for our listeners that may be going like, what does this even mean? What this new company is a company that exists solely to purchase Bitcoin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a SPAC, like we know from Open Door and OfferPad, right? A special purpose acquisition company, right? They went in, and what I found, they went out and basically have already raised about $200 million to go and buy Bitcoin.
What's very interesting is that Howard Lutnick, which is the Commerce Secretary, his son is part of this.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, he's
very
gonna be the one heading it up.
Yeah. And SoftBank.
Well, and we know that just 6 weeks ago or so, the new administration signed the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so any Bitcoin held by the U.S. government will be held by the U.S. government. It will not be sold. Now, will they add a strategic buying of Bitcoin to that reserve remains to be seen.
Some people are saying that they're already buying it.
Just not saying anything.
Just not saying anything. Yeah, because why would you say it? Like, why would any country want to say, hey, we're buying a bunch of Bitcoin right now? Like, right? Because if they did, then more people will be going, yeah, I want to buy it too. But there's all these states as well. I think there's like 16 states that are starting their own strategic reserve,
yes.
Or they have bills on.
They have bills,
like going through
and they're
Congress,
passing,
right?
And I don't think anyone. I think one has passed completely all the way.
It's
through.
Florida, I think.
I'm not sure if it's
I
Florida.
I thought it was Florida.
Arizona was in the lead,
Yep.
but then I think someone beat them and got to the finish line.
I thought it was Florida.
I think there's probably going to be about 10 states that have their own strategic Bitcoin
Texas,
reserve.
Does it say?
Let's see. So, according to Google, Texas passed legislation to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Arizona and other states are considering other bills, with Arizona leading the race, becoming the first state to pass such legislation. That's just a simple Google
So it
search,
actually isn't official yet for any state, per what you're finding in Google there.
No, there's 16. I know Google.
It's passed in Texas. The Texas Senate passed it in March.
So we're good.
Yep. And it's kind of like a race for these states, right? Arizona, New Hampshire, Florida, all have advanced crypto reserve bills in process.
Yeah.
And why are they doing this? Because they're opting out of the
Inflation.
the inflationary system. This system that we were talking about, SoftBank. Well, how did SoftBank get all this money? Right?
Yeah.
And what they don't realize is that they're just printing money and then investing it in the United States, because Japan has a 0% interest rate. Like they basically have free money.
So how does this relate
all tie back to
real
real
estate?
estate?
And what does it mean for real estate?
So what it means to me...
I have some thoughts on that too, but go for it.
Well, mine's pretty simple.
Thoughts.
Jay definitely has some thoughts on it, but for mine, like making this tangible and why this is important to you, is this means essentially that the inevitability of the printing presses being fired up to infuse a bunch of liquidity back into the economy, which will then lower the rates, is going to happen.
Okay, so what that means is when you hear that rates are cutting. They're going to be infusing money into the markets. What that means is likely real estate will heat up.
Oh, yeah.
Likely we're going to see more people then be able to buy homes. We could see prices going up because more money will be dumped into everybody's hands.
Yeah, lower rates, more affordability.
But will that also translate into higher home prices?
Oh, yes.
So what I think, and I've heard other people say this too, but I believe that there's going to be a kind of an influx of like super millionaire homes, like the $50 million properties that are like in Florida and all these big giant mansions. We're gonna start seeing like those prices come down a little bit because a lot of these people
like a store of wealth.
Yeah, because a lot of these people that own these houses, they're empty, right? Like
Right.
when we go to Vail,
They're
like
stores
we
of
go,
wealth. Yep.
in the summertime,
I
and
love
then
Vail.
you walk through Vail,
amazing.
and these giant freaking houses, they're just empty.
Beautiful
House,
mansion
empty.
cabins.
Nobody's
No one's there.
Oh.
No one's there.
You're
right?
like $20 million property, and you're like,
yeah.
how's nobody there?
Well, it's because
'cause they're
these
storing money.
very wealthy people, they store their money in real estate, right?
Yep.
So, but you can't pick up real estate and move it with you. If you wanted to go over here, go over here, go over there, travel here, travel there.
And it's not as liquid, especially if it's a $20 million estate. You can't just liquidate
Yeah,
that.
Exactly,
Get
and
access to your
you pay
capital.
taxes on it every
Yep.
every year. You have to
Upkeep.
upkeep
You have to manage
it. You
it,
got to do
yeah,
all this
maintenance
stuff to keep the property's value. So these people are going to start to. I feel like they're going to start to dump some of these properties and put it in Bitcoin.
Yeah, liquidate it because a
So,
different store of wealth.
so will we see some price discovery in the $10 million plus home category?
I think so. Yeah, I think
So
so.
if you're on, if you're like on the fence between that $5 to $10 million home, maybe you wait 6 to 12 months and you could get a better.
I think it's more. I think it's more the $10 to $50 million homes.
Okay,
I
10
don't
to
think
50.
Yeah, it's super.
5 to 10. I think there's still going to be a lot. I mean,
Still good demand for
Yeah,
that.
I think you're talking about the really giant estates.
I
that
wonder
people-
what percentage of the housing stock is over 10 million. Probably a super small percentage,
super
right?
small.
But interesting, no doubt. Excited for 21, excited for Bitcoin reserves, and excited to see where this all heads for Bitcoin and the housing market. Thanks for tuning in.